Hi there, and welcome to this guitar licks lesson. In this YouTube lesson I've got a really cool little lick that I'd like to show you, which I've kind of demonstrated in like an electric jump blues style, but it can work in bebop or potentially even a more traditional style to blues like Chicago blues, and it's a really cool lick. I'll play it for you once and then I'll break it down and show it to you. So slowly it sounds like this. Quicker, and it has a really cool kind of 40s 50s jump blues kind of feel to it. So I don't have anything like that on my channel, so I thought this would make an interesting lick. So without any further ado, let's get zoomed in and check out how to play this cool lick. I'll show you how it works and how to play it. So let's zoom in, and I hope you enjoy this lesson. Thank you. So this jump blues lick is applied over bars 7 to 8 of a 12 bar blues progression. And if you're playing a jump blues, if I go through the progression of that, you would have, it starts with a 1 chord, then it goes to a 4 chord obviously if you have a quick change, then you're back at the 1 chord for 2 bars, then in bar 5 we tend to have the 4 chord again, and then it comes back to a 1 chord, and then obviously the last 4 bars of the progression is when you have your 5 chord, 4 chord, and you're back to the 1 chord. If you'd like to know more about these chords that I'm playing, I actually have a lesson called How to Play Blues Guitar Chords on this channel, which explains what these are. But yeah, and that progression in bars 7 to 8, you usually just have a B flat chord, and that's actually where this lick is applied to. But obviously that's implying more chord changes than just a regular old B flat chord, even though it will work over just a B flat chord. If you're playing a jump blues, which is medium to fast tempo, say 150 beats and above, this lick will work if you've just got the 1 chord implied in bars 7 to 8, because there's a lot of strong logic behind it. Like for example, if you look at a jazz blues, when you go back to a 1 chord in bars 7 to 8, you'll usually hear this kind of thing. This kind of chromatic dominant 7 thing. B flat 7, A7, A flat 7, and then G7, which is a cool kind of chromatic run that you find in jazz blues, which is actually bogged down in all kinds of substitutions, tritone substitutions, which I don't want to get too much into in this lesson, and I've got another lesson on this YouTube channel which explains what a jazz blues progression is and how you can kind of take it to form some of these kind of more substituted chords. But just to give you the logic behind that, it's just basically moving down in half steps, and we actually do come back to that B flat chord in bar 7, and it's actually moving down chromatically to a G7, because that's setting up the C minor 7 in a jazz blues, which is obviously a 2/5 in B flat. But you really don't need to know all that theory. I mean, obviously it's good to know as much theory as possible, but if you're just here for the lick, I'll show you this because I don't want to make this a big kind of jazz blues theory lesson, but I'd like to just explain a bit of it, a hint of it, if you will. So anyway, the lick itself is really based off triads. It's basically going B flat triad, A flat, and G. And I think this will help you, knowing a bit of theory, because it'll help you memorize it more rather than just being put your fingers here, put your fingers there type of thing. But anyway, it's based off these triads: B flat, A flat, G, and it's really only these 2 notes of the triad, and it's just a little pattern which is moving through that. So you're starting on the 5th of the B flat chord, the F note, which is on the 6th fret of the B string. Then you're going to the 3rd of the B flat chord, D, which is on the 7th fret of the G string. And the rhythm is just in terms of the actual fret numbers, it's 6, 7, 6, and then you're pushing onto the 5th fret of the B string, which is then part of the A triad. And as soon as you're on that 5th fret of the B string, the A triad, you then begin the that same rhythmic sequence over the A triad. So it's, and then when it goes down to the the A flat, it's again that same shape that's moved down, and it eventually ends on the 5th of the G chord, the G triad there. So it kind of just stops at that point. So you're going through 4 different triads really, and it just has, when you play it faster, kind of has that retro blues sound to it, which I'm quite a fan of. I suppose I don't really get too much into specific stylistic things here, but really to get, if you want to play it in that jump blues style, then you're probably going to achieve that tone better. I'm on the neck pickup here on my 74 telly. I've got a little bit of distortion, but not too much, just a little bit of a breakup, and I'm actually picking quite close to the bridge pickup, even though I'm on the neck pickup. And that gets that kind of old school sound as well, really. I've got the tone rolled back as well, so don't want to make this too much of a tone lesson, but that will really help you kind of achieve that retro blues sound if that's what you're going for. But yeah, here's the lick one more time slowly. It goes, and if you play it fast, so there it is. It's applied over the 12-bar blues in B flat, which is a good key for jazz blues or even jump blues, but it's quite easy to move in different keys. Obviously, most of them will work. If you get too low down the neck, you'll probably run out of frets and have to apply it in a different position, but that's fine. It'll work in that way as well. Yeah, that's the gist of the lick. I hope you enjoy it. Practice it in all 12 keys, and if you've got any questions, just leave a comment in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this YouTube guitar lesson. I hope that you've enjoyed it and found it useful. If you did like it, I'd really appreciate it if you could click the like button below to help support the channel. I'd also really appreciate it if you could subscribe to this channel as well. That way you'll get free access to all the brand new video lessons which I post. If you like the licks and the licks that I teach here on YouTube, I actually have an exclusive product which is called 50 Essential Jazz Guitar Licks, and in that ebook I have 50 of my favourite jazz guitar licks, which are in the style of all the classic great jazz guitar players like Charlie Christian or Wes Montgomery, and they're applied over really common progressions like blues progressions, modal progressions, rhythm changes. And that ebook is quite, I think it's about 50 pages long, and I've got audio examples and backing tracks. So if you'd like to help support me in what I do on this channel and what I do on my website, I really appreciate it if you could check that out. That's actually linked to in the description of this YouTube video as well. So I hope you check that out. But just thank you again anyway for checking out this video lesson, and I'll see you again soon for another licks lesson. Cheers.